Hello guys, so we're going to be taking a look at Glasswire today. This is a software that a couple different YouTubers have talked about, and it's got me interested in this software, so I decided to take a look at it. Now I'm looking at this pretty much from a consumer perspective, and if it's good for that, but I'm also going to be taking a look at the business perspective as I'm going to be using it for that personally as well. Now it tells you a little bit about what I think of the software. So we see their home page here. It's pretty simple, and so it has a bunch of Fortune 500 and some major companies. Network monitor, threat monitoring, and firewall. The firewall in it is great. The threat monitoring, it could use some improvement. And the network monitoring is great. We'll be looking at the free version of the software that most of you will likely be downloading a little bit later. So we see the new connection get notified. This is something that's really great because it pops up right down here in the bottom right corner, and it notifies you when something is connecting for the first time since this software has been running. Now this is good because it will allow you to know what is actually getting transferred. If you download something and install a program and something else pops up that it connected, you know you might have installed something that you did not mean to. So continuing on, you can see what happened while you were away is what they call it. So pretty much it just has a history, and the graph is actually really nice. You'll see that's what I have going on right here. And once we move down, so the remote server monitoring. This is actually only in the paid version, but you do get the usage statistics that we'll take a look at later. The remote server monitoring is actually pretty good, and I've been doing some testing with it before I deploy it. And it looks like it will be a really nice way of dealing with monitoring the network for many computers out there. And it's going to allow me to not worry so much about having to monitor on the router side. I can do it on system side, because on the router side, then you're eating up your router resources. And for the amount of resources this takes up, it's absolutely crap all. So moving down, internet bandwidth monitoring. This is good, it's bad. I don't find it to be super accurate. It's about give or take 5% on it. Although I do like how it shows the local and the outer. The local is really not that important to me, but it kind of gives me an idea what I'm transferring around my home network. And it will give me an idea when I deploy it out to small business environments exactly how much they're transferring to and from their server. So it will give me really good details for each individual user as to how I can tailor things to make their user experience better and more efficient for the company. This outer one is what everyone on the consumer side is really going to be looking for mostly, unless you're a prosumer. But this will kind of give you an idea of your bandwidth monitoring. So you could put this on all your computers in your house, and instead of having to monitoring from your router, because monitoring from your router on the low-end routers that many consumers have just doesn't work too well. One, it's not super accurate, and this is, especially on the outer. The local, not so much. And it is pretty good. Like on your router, you're going to run into problems once you start monitoring 20, 30 PCs, for example. Not that most people have that, but you want to kind of monitor it. So you'll be able to see what you're actually using on your PC, and you can break it down so that way you know, oh, I had an extremely high usage day. What was I doing? Or is something happening in the background that I'm not aware about? That goes back to the what happened while you were away thing that they talk about, which is just their graphing system. And then privacy. It pretty much talks about how you can use this to determine what is connecting and why. And we know Microsoft Windows 10, also known as spyware version 10, it has some security issues to it. So you can know what's connecting and what services are, and you can actually go online, figure out whether those services are important or not, and you can block those services from connecting. So then it comes down to buy Glasswire. Back up. And if we go over to buying it, we'll see the basic ones here if you choose not to go with the free version. So for one PC, it's $50. I'd consider that a pretty good value. But the $100 for 3 PCs and the year history 10 remote connections, this is the one that I particularly like, especially for the consumer environment. But the one that I'm going to be buying lots of licenses for, I did only buy the $100 version to do testing with, to determine whether it's right for my business and my personal needs. But I will be going with the Elite one, and I've already reached out to them on Twitter and I've said that their software is great. I'm going to be doing this mini review of it and that I am going to be using it. And like all small companies, they show appreciation for it, which is nice to see. Especially the fact that they're being active. But Elite is definitely your best value. The unlimited remote connections is really nice because I would like to be able to connect remotely to any other PC on the network through this software that I give permissions to connect that way. That's the key part. So let's move into the actual software. So here we see the firewall. If, say, we want to see what this big spike is, I can click on it and it will actually stop it. So you can see it says Google Chrome. And so right now it's connecting with that much at that time, Logitech, the host process for Windows, and then the system server. And if you go over here, this will show what I actually have in my, in my browser. So this is what Logitech's connecting to. This is what Chrome is connecting to, the host server, D-Link router, and system. So we can go back and up here and continue on its way. See, there's a whole bunch of network activity here, and it actually kind of displays it. So the 3 down is this light color here, and then the dark is that there, I believe is how it works. So let's move on to the firewall. So say you want to take and block my Logitech gaming framework here. I can just hit firewall, this little fire button, and it is now blocked. Or I can unclick it and it's fixed. TeamViewer, let's block that. And there we go. Unblock it so I don't have to go back. Click to block, ask to connect, or block all, but those are with the paid versions that I'm not showing you right now because I don't really want to show you too much of the paid version, as most of you are probably going to be using the free version. But if you're interested in a more in-depth and a long look at the paid version, I'll gladly take and do that, but I don't think it's really relevant for most users that, or most viewers that are going to be watching this video if they choose to download this software. The reason for that is most people aren't going to want to pay for this functionality, where in a business environment where you'd use the other functions, you do want to take and pay for it, or you kind of are willing to pay for it, more or less. So here's the usage. So far today, I've put 1.1 gigabytes external, and as you can see, most of it is in that download category. And on the incoming is 1 gigabyte, outgoing is 83.3, local is 33.5 gigabytes, or sorry, megabytes. So as you see, I'm not really using much. So let's see, we want to see what this external spike is about. So let's go over here. Under the apps, we see that the Google Chrome has used up a gigabyte for the most part of it. And we see that Vessel used 340 megabytes. The hypertext, the HTTPS, and that, or over HTTPS, is 1 gigabyte. And then we see GoogleVideo.com, which is YouTube. And there's a whole bunch of other sites, Twitter, FandyComputing.net, Web Design Kingston, and then connecting to, this is a local PC, and the router is obviously local as well. And there's 325 more things. So let's see the Logitech gaming software. It's actually outputting a lot. Like, I'm not sure why it outputs that much, but I could take and I could monitor that. It's not virus scan. It says what's doing it. Says where the hosts are, and any alerts it has for me. So we can always look at that. So let's move on to the network. You have to have the paid version for it. And then there's your alerts. So we're sorting it right now by date. And OBS connected, which is what I'm using to record this, at 10:19 this morning and 11 seconds. It says it connected to obsproject.com. This is pretty much it, just pinging back to its server saying, hey, I'm on, someone's using me. And that's all it is. And we can look here and we can see on the 29th that I connected to a Steam game called Worms Revolution. Or we can also look and see that on the 1st, so yesterday is the day I'm recording this, that No Machine did some processes. This was actually me updating it. I hadn't updated it in a while. There's the Minecraft launcher, because I was trying to set something up for someone. First network connection. God damn it, my mouth today. Initiated. So we can go back and you can go through lots of history. Keeps a month worth of history on the free type. On the apps, you can go and you can actually sort it by what software. And like the Windows installer, VirtualBox Manager, Adobe, Java, Photoshop, which I'm not sure why they don't strap that in with Adobe. That would be nice if they did. Steam client. So I hope you guys like this video. If you did, remember to leave a like down below and subscribe for more videos like this and other tech reviews and videos. So tell me what you think of this software, whether you're planning to either get the free version, if you're planning to get one of these different ones. If so, let me know which one down below in the comments. So I have a little bit of feedback to know whether you guys actually are finding this software that I'm showing useful or not. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one, and have a good one.